Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. So at the end of the last stream, Kelly said, get more videos. No, that's not what Kelly said. Kelly said, get more body cams. Right? Well, it reminded me of a body cam I got once at a prison. And we're going to try to go through these next, it'll take 3 days. Worth it. Absolutely worth it. Some of you have seen it before, but we're going to try to go through these next 3 days without saying the word Darrell Brooks. Because this is the closest I've ever gotten to showing a Darrell Brooks case than anyone has ever gotten. This guy is amazing. If you haven't seen him before, you're going to love this hearing. If you have seen him before, you're going to love this hearing. Now, there's only 2 places you could have seen this before. Here, a year ago, but I don't know if it was 12 months ago or 18 months ago or 23 months ago, a year ago. It's not Brooks. It's not Brooks. But Brooks is going to be on your mind the whole time. And at that point, this is a YouTube judge, but at that point, I thought I was the only one getting these judges because I didn't see them anywhere else, right? So I get this hearing, and it's amazing. It's Darrell Brooks 2.0, and I show it, and I'm like, oh man, I'm the only one that's gonna have this. And then I get through part of the first day because I did it in 2 days. Then we did like a 2.5 hour stream and a 3 hour stream to get through it all in 2 days. Sorry. But get through the first day, and I can't remember what other channel was playing it. There was another channel playing it. So I tell you that because there's a professional version of this out there somewhere if you wanted to watch good content of this without, me. So I'm going to show you one of my old live streams with me the whole time. And you're going to see some old names pop up on the screen a lot. But this man, he attacked a prison guard in prison. And there's footage. So they have the jail cameras showing a little bit. And then they have the body cam of the jailers. So we get to see that body cam. Because that's what we wanted. We wanted another body cam today. We're going to get it. I think. They might show the body cam tomorrow. I don't know. It's coming. It's here. It's in here. There's a lot of body cam. There's a body cam of the first officer, the second officer, the jail. That's not a body cam, but we're going to pretend it is. And then we have his. I think it took 5 guards to drag him out of the court. So if that helps you remember. But all right. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. We're jumping in. We need rum. I'm gonna
Three challenges. That's not what my intentions were.
It starts right away. That's my bad. I didn't know I messed up immediately last time. Thank you so much, Casey Carey. I really appreciate it. Thank you. This is in Ohio, guys. This is in Warren County, Ohio. I'm just going to go 30 seconds ahead.
The
So
deputies and the transport officer
crew,
think about this. Back on the record.
There he comes.
Back on the record. All right, we're back on the record in the state of Ohio versus Aaron Jones. Mr. Jones, I'm going to kind of start over again here just to make sure you've had a chance to think about this.
Can I say something real quick, Your Honor? I didn't get that opportunity to use the bathroom. Your officer wouldn't allow me to come out the cuffs. I don't know how I'm supposed to. I don't want to be rude or crude. Like, I know I got off to a bad start with you, sir, and that's not what my intentions were. I'm just kind of obnoxious. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not in charge of security here, Mr.
Thank
Jones.
you,
The
puppy.
deputies and the transport officers are in charge of your
So
security of this.
how I'm supposed to use the bathroom in
Sir?
cuffs? How I'm supposed to be able to wipe myself in cuffs?
All right.
The officer refused to move the cuffs when I was locked in the cell. I'm just trying to use the bathroom. I need to use the bathroom before we get started, sir.
Rhodes,
Yes, sir.
what's the issue with him?
I was never asked to remove the cuffs.
She was, man. You know I had to use the bathroom. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say. I need the cuffs.
All right, let's get through this and we'll talk about your bathroom after that. All right. I advise you that you're charged with an assault of a corrections officer as an inmate at the correctional facility. Maximum penalty, as we've said, is 36 months in prison. You have a right to an attorney. The court has appointed the one to you at no charge. I don't know. I've not seen any of the discovery. Other than the nature of the allegation, that's all I know about the case. So I don't know if there are any defenses or any mitigating factors that are involved in your case. Ms. Martin, as a experienced trial attorney, would know those things. I don't have enough information to make that call. So there may be possible defenses. There may be mitigating factors that I simply don't know about. Are you aware of any?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now, if I do allow you to proceed as your own attorney, Ms. Martin will stay in the courtroom as what's called standby counsel. I mean, her role is going to be very limited as standby counsel. You understand that?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you are presumed to be innocent of this charge, which means that you can't be sentenced or punished unless you plead guilty or you're found guilty, right?
Correct.
All right. You have the right to trial by jury, which we are affording you today. The jury's verdict must be unanimous. Whether it's guilty or not guilty, their verdict must be unanimous. You could also waive your right to a jury trial and try your case to the court. And I, too, just like the jury, would have to find each and every element beyond a reasonable doubt in order to find you guilty. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, during the trial, you understand that you have the right to confront and cross-examine witnesses. Ms. Martin, as a skilled trial attorney, would be the one that would be doing that cross-examination. But if you go on your own, it would be your responsibility to confront and cross-examine the state's witnesses. But you would have to do that in accordance with the rules of procedure and the rules of evidence. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have the right to compulsory process, and compulsory process is if you have a witness that you want to testify on your behalf, then if they're reluctant to come, the court can force them to come by way of subpoena. That's your right of compulsory process. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you also know you have the right to remain silent, which means you cannot be forced to testify in your own defense. The prosecutor is not permitted to call you as a witness, and then you can choose to testify, not testify if you don't want to. If you don't testify, that fact cannot be used against you. And I'm going to instruct the jury that if you don't take the witness stand, they're not allowed to consider that to infer your guilt or to infer anything else as a result of that silence. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, the way the trial proceeds, we start with what's called voir dire, and that's how the process of selecting a jury. So first me, then the prosecutor, and then the defense get to ask the jurors individual questions, okay? And then then there is what's called challenging a juror for cause. And then I make the decision whether or not they can be fair and impartial. And then there's also peremptory challenge. Each side gets 4 peremptory challenges, and that's removing a juror for any reason that you want. Okay, you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then we're going to do opening statements. By the state and then by the defense. The state will then present its witnesses. Each witness will be directly examined, cross-examined, redirect examination, recross-examination. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether you have any exhibits to prepare, but exhibits need to be properly identified, authenticated, and then moved for admission, right?
Yes, sir.
Any objections that you make must be made very succinct, very clearly. If you're objecting to something, you simply say object. I don't want to hear any talking objections. If I ask you what your objection is, you need to make sure that it complies with the rules of evidence. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
After the presentation of the witnesses by the state and by your side, the defense, we will have closing arguments. Each side will have a few minutes to wrap up their case and present their argument to the jury. After closing arguments, I will give the jury the instructions of law. Now, the issues that present themselves with regard to you representing yourself, obviously, is a logistics issue. Since you are incarcerated, the shackles on your legs will remain. The court is going to make a finding. And again, if you want to have a hearing on this, Mr. Arnold.
Your Honor, I just asked the court to take note that he's previously been convicted of assault on a corrections officer and is an inmate incarcerated for offenses of violence.
So I'm going to make a finding that you pose a security risk to this courtroom. So the shackles on your legs are going to remain there. Now I'm going to accommodate you in that both the state and you will do your opening, your voir dire, your opening, the questioning of witnesses, and your closing arguments from counsel table. Now you can stand up at that table without your legs being seen, because there's for the record, there's a skirt, or the bench itself in front of you hides your feet. No one can see your legs. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I've already told you that in the court's opinion, representing yourself is probably going to hurt your case, right? You understand, and I've said to you already that the state of Ohio is represented by a competent, experienced trial attorney, and that you will be held to the same standard as Mr. Arnold. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. The rules of evidence and rules of procedure, even if you don't know them, will apply to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I cannot assist you at all during the course of the trial.
Yes, sir.
You want to again understand that this is not a license for you to abuse the dignity of this court.
Yes, sir.
There will be no appeal for ineffective assistance of counsel.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Again, how old are you?
38.
How far did you go in school?
Dropped out.
So are you able to read and write?
Yes, sir.
Are you on any type of medications or drugs?
No, sir.
Do you have any prior experience in representing yourself?
Not representing myself. I've always had good dialogue with my attorneys.
Okay. Do you have any prior experience, your prior experience in the legal system?
Just being charged with stuff.
Okay. You don't have any formal training in the law?
No, sir.
You have no mental deficiency or conditions that would interfere with you understanding what's going on here today?
Not that I'm aware of.
I think he might.
All right. Now tell me once again, is it your intentions, is it your desire that you want to proceed in this trial representing yourself?
I'm pretty sure.
No, you got to be certain.
I mean,
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do this, Mr. Jones? Let's allow Ms. Martin to represent you. And if something happens and you can change your mind later. It's easier to go that way than to go the other way. You can't have it both ways. What's that?
I use the bathroom, please. I really gotta go, sir. I just need to use the bathroom. I'd be a lot more focused and stuff. I really gotta use the
All right,
bathroom.
Rhodes, take him to the bathroom. I'm not going to go over this with you again.
That's
You have this
fine.
one last
I
opportunity.
understand, sir.
Let's go off the record.
We're not walking past the business.
All right, Fozzie, this is your chance to say it.
All right, we are back on the record in the state of Ohio versus Aaron Jones. Mr. Jones, you've had your second trip to the bathroom now. I take it everything went better?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, you have in front of you a form called waiver of counsel. I've gone over with you all of the elements of granting that waiver. Do you still wish to proceed as your own counsel?
I need to get some counsel. I need real counsel. I talked to my family. They was talking about hiring a lawyer. I thought it was thought a little more cut and dry. That's got a little more confidence in Miss Martin than that. And just at this point in time, I'd rather just wait on my family to get a lawyer for me.
But that's not going to happen. This case is proceeding to trial today.
I'll represent myself then.
You want Miss Martin
No,
to?
I don't want her near me, around me, or nothing. She can.
All right, sign the
She's good to
form
go.
in front of you.
She can leave, he said. She
She's
can
good.
leave.
Today's the 18th. All right, Ms. Martin, you'll stay behind Mr. Jones as standby counsel. Mr. Jones, you have, that's your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
And you read this document?
No, not really. Why is Miss Martin here?
Because I'm making her a standby counsel in case there's an issue. She'll be in the back of the courtroom.
I don't need no
Mr.
help.
Jones, I don't care what you want with regard to that. I'm following procedure, and this is what we're going to do. Read the form, please.
The whole
Mr.
whole
Jones,
reason
read.
of representing myself was because I didn't trust the lady. That was the
Okay,
whole purpose of
she's
that.
not,
But she's still here and attached to my case. That's the
She's
whole
removing
purpose of
herself.
removing her was for that. Was for me to be able to represent myself.
you will be. Sign the form. Read it.
Was already signed. You
All
already
right,
see
read-
my
read-
signature. You already
I'm sorry,
asked me
I
my signature.
misspoke.
You see my signature was on that sheet. You already said it was there. What are you talking about?
Mr. Jones, read the form. You said
I
you
already
didn't read
signed
it.
it, man. It's cool. Go ahead.
Read the form. Are you able to read and write?
Sometimes. Depends on how many pictures are on.
It depends how many pictures are on it. We created a banner for that. Kelly, Monica, thank you so much for the cheers. Thank you. This guy.
You done?
I ain't reading. I
get
already
the form.
signed it. We already went over it. It's cool.
All right, the court will make a finding then, sir, that you've made a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver of your right to counsel, and the court will accept that. Ms. Martin will stay in the courtroom as standby counsel. Other than
I'm
that, are we
objecting
ready
to
for
Miss Martin standing by
Mi-
counsel.
Mr. Jones, I'm
I
gonna
don't
tell
want
you
stand
one
by
to-
counsel.
Mr. Jones, I'm going to tell you
I'm not
what,
allowed to object. I'm my own counsel now. I'm allowed to object, ain't I?
then you say the word objection.
I did. I said I object.
What are you objecting to?
I'm
I've
objecting to
removed,
Miss Martin standing by as counsel. I'm representing myself. I'm objecting to having her here. I don't
She's-
trust her. So that's the
Oh, Jude, I was so worried you weren't going to get a notification and I didn't know how to give you one. You made it. Yay.
whole reason of me releasing her was to represent myself because I didn't feel confident with her abilities, nor did I feel confident enough with her not working with the prosecution in order to help lay down and obtain a conviction. My removing of her was
All right, stop.
based on
Stop. Your objection is overruled. Ms. Martin will stay in the courtroom as acting counsel. Standby counsel, sorry. All right, are we ready to bring the jury down?
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right, bring them down.
Now we have to pick a jury. Yeah, this is hard for me.
Okay, Steve.
yeah.
She
I
in the
forgot
very
we had
back,
to do
that
this.
far right chair.
Ugh.
Walk in on this side.
Okay,
Mary
it's
Ellen
fine.
is- all right, and then be right
I'm
next
gonna
to
fast
Mr.
forward it a little bit more.
All
Try to get through this.
right, and
Casey.
right next to her, third chair in the back.
There is body cam footage of what they are accusing him of. And it's great. We won't see it till tomorrow because of this stupid jury. We have to pick a jury first. But tomorrow is the whole thing gets better. The end is amazing.
All the way down. Thank you, sir.
Council, please go down in session. Now, Judge Steve presiding. Please remain standing.
Please join me in a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
I like that.
Good morning and welcome to the Warren County Common Pleas Court. I am Judge Tim Teep and I will be presiding over these proceedings. I am one of 3 General Division Common Pleas Court judges here in Warren County. So on behalf of Judge Oda and Judge Peeler, I want to thank you for your service here today. And I do apologize for taking you away from your busy lives. You're here today in response to a summons, but what really brings you here is that our founding fathers believed that the right to trial by jury was sacred, and they guaranteed it for us in Article 3 of the United States Constitution and in the 6th Amendment to the Constitution, which is contained in the Bill of Rights. The right of trial by jury has been claimed throughout history so that litigants can control their own destiny in the courtroom. That is, ordinary citizens drawn at random from the community with no pre-existing knowledge of the facts of a particular case or training in the law, who listen to the evidence and decide the truth. And that's your role here today. You are the trier of facts. If you are chosen to sit on this jury, when you close that door behind you in that jury room at the close of the case, you will decide the facts, you will decide the truth. You are the legal system. Now, I recognize that each of you is making a sacrifice to be here today, perhaps financially, but certainly of your time and of your energy. But I believe that short of service in the military, service as a juror is the most important civic duty that you can perform. Trial by case.
He's about to introduce every single person in the courtroom. So no, I'm not. I just can't, guys.
Every juror free as humanly possible. Jones has any input courts. They come down as my assignment commissioners. Mr. Lee, I'm going to bring them down in here too. We're just here observing our trial.
With me, he's an investigator for the Ohio State Highway Patrol.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The defendant today is Mr. Aaron Jones. Mr. Jones is decided and elected to represent himself in this proceeding. That's why there's nobody sitting at council table with him. Mr. Jones, would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
My name is Aaron. I'm the defendant in the defense counsel. Please bear with me. It's my first time, and it should be pretty cut and dry for.
All right, and I thank you, sir. And I will tell you that there is you can't consider the fact that he's elected to represent himself. He has the right to do that. He has the right to counsel. He has the right to represent himself. You can't use that against him in any way. You can't consider it for anything. Is everybody clear on that? Okay. We may touch on that a few times as the case goes on. So this is the process of voir dire, which translates literally to speak the truth. Now, during voir dire, the court and then the attorneys will be asking you questions. These questions, as I've stated, are not designed to pry into your personal affairs nor to embarrass you in any way, but only to discover if you have any knowledge of this case or any preconceived opinions that you simply can't lay aside, or if you've had some experience in your personal or your family life that might cause you to identify yourself with either party or their counsel. As I've said, these questions are necessary to assure each party an impartial jury. If there's any question that you feel not comfortable answering in public, just ask me to approach and I'll handle it. I will handle it up here at sidebar. The first question I'm going to direct to all of the people in the courtroom, all the prospective jurors, is everyone here still a resident of Warren County?
Yes.
Oh, well, almost had a hand go up.
I said yes.
Okay. All right. So yes. All right. So because that's your quickest way out of here. If you're not a resident of Warren County, you can't sit. I think we've had maybe one person said, yeah, I'm not a resident anymore. So, all right. So now I'm going to direct my attention and the parties are going to direct their attention to the 12 people seated in the jury box. Not trying to ignore you folks. We're just going to focus our attention over here. So as you're sitting back there, I want you to pay attention, listen to the questions. If there's any question that's asked that you would have responded to, just make a mental note. And then if you were asked to replace one of the 12 in the jury box as the case unfolds, as the process unfolds, I should say, then just bring it to my attention when you come up, and we'll cover this stuff over and over again. As I indicated, we anticipate that this trial will last for I also where's my I have a seating chart. As I've indicated, we anticipate this trial will last for no more than 2 days. Does the length of the trial cause anyone?
1 day. It lasts for 1 day. However, we're not seeing the entire trial today because I would be streaming for 6 hours,
A significant
which I would
hardship?
love to do.
I got a hand. Ms. Springmeyer?
I'm a registered nurse, and I have a letter from my employer to exclude me from this so I can go back to work.
Wow. Like I said, everyone here is probably having to take off work and again, you're not going to get paid a lot. I don't know what they even pay them anymore. Do you know? $25 a day. I mean, it's pretty nothing. That in and of itself is not sufficient grounds for me to excuse you.
Okay.
Is there more to it than just saying my boss really wants me to come to work?
The letter says that
You want to give it to my bailiff and he'll bring it up to me and I'll read it?
Mr. Allen, she goes with you. Mom says I don't have to be here today. It's a letter from my mom.
Hang on one thing, Mr.
That's the most well-dressed bailiff I've ever seen. Go back, camera, go back. Are these people just public, you think? Just the public, because the jury's all in here? Overflow? It's the press box, you idiot. Your Honor, her boss says she can't work.
Do you
She
have
can't do
cases
jury.
scheduled for today?
Yes.
Yes? Just for the record, the letter indicates that she is a specialized registered nurse. Is that fair?
I work on the oncology unit at Children's Hospital.
That checks out. Yes. Kitty corner.
Mr. Arnold, does the state have an objection?
Judge, I have a tremendous amount of respect for nurses at Children's Hospital. I have no objection to her doing her duties.
Mr. Jones, do you have an objection?
No objection.
All
as
right,
well.
you're excused.
I don't need Google when I have you guys.
Philip Howard. Sir, if you'll take that and seat the front.
Thank you for your service, Ms.
And Mr., is it Kononenko?
Yeah,
Did I pronounce it correctly?
yeah. I very but understand English.
You don't understand? Okay. All right.
Some probably.
Let me ask you this, and again, whether English is your primary language, have you been able to understand everything that I've said so far today?
No. Most likely.
Absolutely, Zach. Absolutely. All you have to do to get out of jury duty is be a children's oncology RN. That sounds really easy. Like you could just do that. Man, you know what? Go home, honey. You're fine. Go take care of those
Do
babies.
you think it's going to be a barrier for you to be able to listen and understand the testimony of the witnesses and the instructions of law?
No.
You think you can do it?
No. No, I don't understand.
Okay. All right. You're excused. Thank you, sir.
Brian Wells.
I like watching all the old chats that pop up on the screen. I'm waiting for more.
All right. Was there anybody else that had a significant hardship is what I was I would have gotten to the language question ultimately, but he jumped the gun a little bit, but that's fine. Anybody else? Mr. Wells, Mr. Howard, any significant hardship? Okay, no. Do you or any member of your families know, work for, or related to anyone that I've introduced here this morning?
No.
Does anyone here have an interest in the outcome of this case?
No.
Is there anyone for whom English is not your native language? I was going to get there. Everybody's good? Okay. It is your duty to follow the law and the instructions of law as I give them to you, regardless of whether you agree. Can each of you do this? Has anyone heard or read any news or social media reports about this case?
No.
Ms. Karsten, you indicated that you have served as a juror before, and that looks like in South Carolina?
Yes.
Okay, and how long ago was that? Oh, 1998, it says right there in front of me. Okay, so a little while. Do you remember much about the case, the experience?
It stressed me out. I had lots of headaches, and
Was that a criminal case or a civil case?
it was a civil case.
Okay, this is a criminal case, so, okay. The burden of proof is actually different in a criminal case than a civil case. Civil case is, if you see the scales there, it's just by a preponderance or slight tipping of the scales. This is the highest standard we have in a criminal case, beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay, and I'll explain exactly what that means later. Is there anything about that you think is going to make it difficult for you to sit and be a juror in this case?
No.
Okay, great. Mr. Kemper, you indicate that you are related to or close friend of someone in law enforcement. You want to expand on that a little bit for me?
Yes, my father was the former assistant chief of police for Kettering, but he retired about 15 years ago.
Okay. Do you have close relationships with? Now, let me ask it to you this way: do you currently have close relationships with anyone that's on active duty?
I have an uncle that's a cop. We're not super close, but
He's charged with assaulting a correction officer, or many. I don't know how many charges he has. We'll find out.
Okay. Is there anything about the relationship? I know he's your dad, but is there anything about that would make you unable to be fair and impartial in this case?
No.
You can listen to the evidence and decide this case based solely upon what you hear here.
yes.
Thank you. Mr. Tarleton, same question. You indicate that you were a friend or related to someone in law enforcement.
Yeah, both are friends. My neighbor is a sheriff for Warren County, and then my other friend works in Lebanon Corrections.
Your neighbor is the sheriff?
Well,
Deputy.
A deputy sheriff,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, that's right. The sheriff's office is not involved in this case. This is a state patrol case. Is that right?
It is, Your Honor. It
Okay.
did not occur at Lebanon. Correction.
Is there anything about, again, those relationships that you can't set aside and decide this case based solely upon the
I
evidence?
don't think so, no.
Okay. And you also indicated that you or a family member or close friends have been the victim of a crime.
Yes.
Can you elaborate?
I'll step off to the side if that's allowed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on up.
Let me fast forward this.
Ms. Graham, good morning.
Good morning.
You've been paying attention to all the questions that have been asked of Evan, many. Anything you want to bring to my attention?
Just what's on my sheet as far as similar questions that were asked to other jurors.
Okay, let me get to your sheet here. Okay, Your husband works, who does he work for specifically?
ATF,
Okay, so he's in law enforcement.
yes.
Anything about that would make you unable to be fair and impartial in this case?
I don't think so.
Okay. And that's usually, I just like to cover that base.
There's no way you can doubt who assaulted the corrections officer. You'll see the videos. I don't know what he's thinking. He's an idiot.
Mr. Howard,
Yes,
I see that you served in our military.
yes,
Thank you, sir, for your service.
thank you.
As you can tell, I'm a fan of our military. But thank you for your service. Ms. Dilly, you indicated that you also are related to or close friend of someone in law enforcement.
My dad was a prosecutor 100 years ago,
Where at?
Alpena, Michigan,
Okay. Again,
in the 70s.
do you believe that you can be fair and impartial in this case?
Yes.
Is it Rui?
Rui, yeah.
Wow. See, because I pronounce mine Teep, not Tepe, so I get that Tepe a lot.
No, Judge, it's
You've
TP.
indicated that
It's
you or
always
family
gonna
member,
be
close
TP.
friends, been the victim of a crime.
Yes.
I got your teeth.
Can you elaborate on that?
I could type or.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me fast forward it. That little Y exclamation point was hi jelly. Just lagged for me.
He served?
He was Army.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. Sometimes it's the spouses and the family that suffer actually even more than the veterans, but thank you for his service. Mr. Mr. O'Keefe.
Yeah.
You also related to someone in law enforcement.
Yes, my cousin is a Butler County prosecutor.
Again, anything about that?
I'm not related to anyone in law enforcement. However, my family has close personal ties with a lot of cops. Does that count, Judge? Can I go home?
That you can't set aside and be fair and impartial in this case?
No.
Okay. And Ms. Delcamp, same question?
Yes, my father is a corrections officer.
Okay, where,
He was at Lebanon Correctional Institute.
did you guys say this was a WCI?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have discussions with him about his role as a corrections officer?
No.
Never?
I mean, outside of that, he works at Lebanon Correctional Institute. He was very, wanted to maintain the confidentiality and such.
Oh, bullshit. That's a lie. That man
All right.
went home and said, guess what happened today? Oh, you would not believe what happened today. He works in a prison. I was dating this guy once who worked at a youth detention center. Youth. And he would get off work and he'd be like, oh, man, you won't believe what happened today. And, of course, I believe it, because we see this every day. But, yeah, she needs to go. She's got to go, period. Point blank, period.
This case, the allegations in this case involve a corrections officer. Are you going to be able to set your dad being a former employee, or is he now?
No, he's former.
Former employee of LCI, separate that entirely and decide this case based solely upon what you hear in the courtroom?
Yes.
Zach, you don't know how many times I visited Barnes Hall for my sisters.
All right, those are all the questions that I have at this time,
Oh, I hate
and
it.
I'm going to have,
They tore it down, right? Barnes Hall's gone. I can't remember if they built another juvie prison there, but the Barnes Hall we knew and loved, that's gone.
Mr. Arnold and Mr. Jones may have some questions for you at this time. If they dig a little bit deeper and they find something about you that they believe would make you unable to be fair and impartial in this case, they may challenge you for cause, at which time I may examine you further, but ultimately I will decide whether or not that I believe you can be fair and impartial. They may also challenge you with what's called a peremptory challenge. And after we go through and everyone passes for cause, each side is going to be able to exercise up to 4 peremptory challenges on the jury. And that means that you will be excused regardless. Okay? So if once we get into the peremptory challenge, if they ask for you to be excused, I'm going to excuse you. But again, I ask you not to overthink it. Because like I said in the beginning, they may believe that you're.
Is CJ here? Because I have a question. I have a psychology question. I need someone to tell me something. How is it? Why? I don't understand. I can watch boring probate. Guys, you don't even know. I watch insurance law. I watch corporate law stuff that I could never put here. You guys would be asleep in 30 seconds, and I'm there like with popcorn. Oh. I watch arraignments just like you guys. We watch so many different types of court. Enthralled. We're just so happy to see it. How does my brain hear just some of the words in jury selection and then it's like torture to me to watch it? Why is jury selection the cutoff? Like my brain is like, no, I don't enjoy this part. I'm never going to. And there's some good stuff that happens in jury selection. So psychologically, why could one person like everything else but get to jury selection and be like, nah, this is stupid. I need a psychiatrist.
Not right for this particular case, but you'd be a perfectly fine juror in another case. And as I've said, each side gets 4 peremptory challenges. I want to have counsel and the defendant conduct their voir dire from counsel table. Mr. Arnold.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. So, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, for you in the back of the courtroom, I apologize for having to ask questions with my back to you. Hopefully, you'll be able to hear my questions. And if you are selected as a juror, I'm going to kind of do a shortcut and say, is there anything you would bring to my attention as a result of the questions I ask these folks? Again, I apologize for speaking with my back to you, but hopefully that won't be a difficulty. I see somebody way in the corner nodding, so I'm thinking, how about that corner back there?
He didn't apologize to us. We can't even see him at all. Rude attorney.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a case that occurred at the Warren Correctional Institution last December. It involves an assault against a corrections sergeant, Shane Carey.
Yes.
Do any of you know anything about that, or would you have any reason to feel that this isn't the type of case that you should sit on? Any of you been to Warren Correctional or worked there, visited?
No, my sister hasn't been to Ohio yet. I need to leave comments up on the screen longer so we can actually read them. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I was doing it too quick. So as soon as I figure out a way, which I haven't worked on, to get comments on the screen like I like, I'm going to leave them on longer.
Any of you just driven past it on State Route 63 and said, wonder what goes on back there?
Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Well, one of the things the judge will tell you is that you're not allowed to experiment or investigate. So if in the course of this trial you have occasion to drive out 63, will all of you agree not to go back in there and drive around and look around until after the case is over? Is that fair?
Yes.
All right. I know the judge has gone over this a little bit. Ms. Wheatley. Ryan Wheatley is your husband?
Yes.
I know Mr. Wheatley through outside of this office, outside of this process. Anything about the fact that I had acquaintance with your husband that would affect your ability to serve as a juror? No. Okay. Ms. Karsten, that South Carolina jury, did you tell me that was, tell us that was a criminal case, or do you remember? And you said it was stressful? I assume it was a very serious incident and with a lot of money involved? This is a criminal case, and there's no reason why it's less important or you should give less effort to this than you did that civil case in South Carolina. Do you think you'll be able to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
That was only 23, 24.
That's the defendant
So that was
and the lawyer.
encounter with it.
And now you've managed to live your life almost twice as long and not there. All right. Thank you.
Marriage opportunities.
Mr. Kemper, you told us about your father and uncle as cops. There's going to be law enforcement type officers testifying in this case. The judge will tell you you should not give them any more credibility than you would anybody else. But by the same token, by virtue of their experience,
want sound.
they may be able to better explain things to you. You okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
I know.
Mr. Howard, you're an Army veteran.
Yes, I am.
Where'd you serve at, sir?
I served 2 years in Korea and then 1 year at Fort Belvoir, Virginia.
Fort Belvoir?
Mhm.
Were you an engineer type?
No, I'm a dentist.
Okay. At
Ohio.
one point, Fort Belvoir did a lot of engineering training, as I recall.
That's what it was when I was there, yes.
And if you were were you in Youngstown?
Young son, yes.
Been there. Ms. Dilley, you said your dad was a prosecutor a significant number of years ago.
She said
Yeah, in Michigan, did he
prostitute.
ever talk to you about the types of cases he handled?
I was 4, so I
Okay.
doubt it, but
Well, my kids are a lot older now than that, but they will tell you that I never talk about anything. Ms. Rui, your husband was in the Army. Where was he stationed at?
I'm telling you right now, if I worked as a prosecutor or a prison guard, my kids would know everything. There's no way. There's no way. I tell them about court cases, not every single one of them. But I recorded the greatest court case during my in-between shows at work. And I can't show it to you guys because I had to turn it off. I'm recording this court case. It's enthralling. This lady is on the stand. And she's like, yes, we picked up a patient for dialysis. And we had to get that patient to the hospital right away. This patient, would die if we didn't get them to the hospital. Well, I'm just going to say Bob, because I can't remember the ambulance driver's name. Bob, the ambulance driver, he was walking unsteady that day and slurring his words. And when we picked up the patient, he drove in the wrong direction. And then he was driving in circles with the GPS, telling him that he was wrong. The patient needed to get to the hospital. So I turned to him and I said, Bob. And he punched me right in the face and started assaulting me and calling me the N-word. Only she did not say the N-word. And I'm at work and I'm recording this on my phone, and out of my phone comes that. So I had to run to my phone and stop recording and turn it off. And it was a great case. And because there was more to it that I was recording. That was just the part that got me. Oh man, I'm at work. I can't. And now we can't. But you know what? It's okay. So today's my Friday. Today's my last day for this week. Yesterday I was alone all day. All day. When the first bus came, I was a bit shook. I'm not gonna lie. when you're there and you're alone and a whole bunch of people just walk in and you're their only server. I was like, okay. But it went great. It was easy. I cleaned up the entire dining room after the show faster by myself than when there's 7 servers on. It was because everything was exactly how I wanted it, where I wanted to put it, and it was there when I got back to it. It was amazing. I wish I could go there every day by myself. But I went on a tangent there, didn't I? Anyway, if I worked at a corrections facility, I would tell them everything. Everything.
We were down in Fort Stewart and then Baumholder, Germany,
How long were you in Germany?
3 years.
Did you like that?
Loved it.
Lots of good restaurants and
yeah.
places to buy.
Yeah, Zach, that would be freaking amazing if I could record while I'm at work. That would be amazing. But you know why I can't all of a sudden? You know why I just really can't? Because of these damn cats. They are ruining my life. They are ruining my life. If I hit record, they hit stop as soon as I walk out the door. Boop. Stop recording. Or they go ahead, get up here. Go ahead, Pity, try me. I don't care if you're declawed, try me. These cats are ruining my life. It's alright, we're getting rid of them. We do have one downstairs though, born with no foot. Ah, my heart. My heart with that poor little kitty. I mean, no, Pity, get out of here. He plays around with the other cats just normal. He doesn't know he doesn't have a foot. Oh, my heart, he's so cute. No, not even a little bit, Kelly. No, I had beer at my old job. I had beer. And my niece. At this new job, it's sort of weird. It's sort of like corporate but family, and it's just it's this job is way I don't know it's not as good, no, but it's okay. I'm working on something big, you know that. And it's working. So yeah, and Zach, in about 2 months I won't have cat problems with me recording anymore. 2 months, maybe January, maybe. Here we go. I gotta get back to work.
Nutcrackers and stuff like that. All right. And Ms. Delcamp, you indicated your father was a corrections officer. How long ago was that?
Within like last year.
Okay. Was he ever assaulted or injured at LCI?
No.
Do you
Not
know
that
if
I'm
he-
aware of.
This is a massive train wreck case, Debbie. Don't worry. We have to get through this stupid jury selection. I hate it. We have to get through it.
Do you know if he was ever involved in any instance with prisoners and doing violent things?
Not that I'm aware of.
What's he do now?
He is currently in between jobs.
Okay. Very particular route. Well, I'm not going to go there. Do any of you know of any other reason why you wouldn't be a good juror on this particular case? All right, let me talk to you about some of the
That's
things
the
that the judge is
prosecutor.
going to talk to you about more in detail. He's already mentioned the term reasonable doubt. You're going to hear that probably several times throughout this trial. And what I say about it or what the defendant says about it really doesn't count as much as what the judge says about it. He will read to you the definition of reasonable doubt. It comes right out of the Ohio Revised Code, and every judge in every criminal case has to read it, or there's a problem. So the one thing I want to point out to you, and I want to ask you if you're okay with this, this isn't a situation where the state has to prove their case beyond any possible doubt, only beyond a reasonable doubt. Do any of you disagree with that proposition? And that's proof based on reason and common sense. Do each of you believe that when you listen to the witnesses, you can just use your common sense and come to a reasonable decision? The judge will tell you that anything subject to human nature is subject to some reasonable or imaginary or possible doubt, but that's not reasonable doubt. Will you all agree to follow that instruction? Nodding heads, yes. There are corrections officers that are going to testify, as well as other employees of the Ohio Department of Corrections and Trooper Schuler. Do you believe that you can listen to their testimony as to what they saw, what they heard, what happened to them with an open mind?
Yes.
One of the things that comes up in cases is the question of direct or circumstantial evidence. You've all heard the term circumstantial evidence, I assume. If I were to tell you this case is based 100% on circumstantial evidence and that's good enough, how many of you would just sort of cringe and say, I'm not sure about that? Okay, well, I see some heads nodding already. But one of the things the judge will tell you is that circumstantial evidence and direct evidence can be of the same weight. And if so, would you be able to follow that instruction? And when we talk about circumstantial evidence, it sounds really bad. But let me give you an example, and I sometimes mess up and step on the judge's example, but the best example I ever heard was a Sherlock Holmes story that had something about the White Cliffs of Dover. I've tried to use that story. I mess it up every time. Let me do something a little easier. If you've been sitting in the box here within the last couple of days, you might have heard noise on the roof. We've got flat roofs, and when it rains, you hear it. Sometimes it almost drowns out the witnesses. If a witness came in from outside and said, I just walked in and it's pouring rain out there, that's direct evidence, something he saw. Do you all agree that that's testimony you should consider and give it whatever weight's appropriate? But if you walked out 20 minutes later, having heard the noise on the roof,
Thank you so much for the cheers.
and there were puddles in the
Thank
parking
you.
lot, you might say, well, it rained here. It must have come down really hard. Would any of you think that's an unreasonable decision? That's using circumstantial evidence. So you see when I say you have to sometimes use your own common sense and reason to come up with a conclusion. All right, this is a prison case. And the victim in this case is a corrections officer who was on duty at the Warren Correctional Facility shortly before Christmas of last year. The defendant was an inmate at the correctional facility. Does anybody feel that just because this happened in prison, it's somehow less important or than if it occurred in somebody's home or on the public street? Anybody feel that way? Sometimes people say, well, just let the prison handle that. Why are we doing that? Do any of you feel that way? So when Sergeant Carey comes in here and testifies, are you willing to recognize that he's entitled to justice as a victim just like anybody else? Doesn't matter whether it happened in prison or on the public street. We all agree with that?
Zach, thank you so much. Thank you, Zach.
You know, we've got 2 prisons here in Warren County. Probably 4,000 inmates, or give or take on any day. Hundreds of people who work there, from corrections officers to cooks and bakers and counselors, but there's hundreds of people that work there. And the inmates are there for a reason. In the general population, they'll find killers and rapists and other violent criminals. So, do you all agree that we should be legitimately concerned about the safety of those employees and people who work in the prisons here in Warren
Where's the
County?
Amish pro se? I want to show it.
Do you think inmates are dealt with a little differently in prison than you would on the street and in ordinary society? Anybody think they should be
Kelly,
they're
thank
treated
you
maybe a
so
little
much.
differently?
Thank you.
No? Well, there's a reason they're in prison, first of all. So let me give you an example. If your kid smarts off to you,
I might
you're an
not
unruly
either.
child, you might send them to their room, give them a timeout.
Thank you, Zach.
Anybody think that's an
Thank you so
unreasonable thing to
much.
do?
Zach, tell me how to
In
find
a prison
your
situation,
Amish
that
pro
person's going to be
se.
handcuffed
Oh,
and taken
thank
to
you,
a
thank you,
detention
thank you.
Prison's different. Do you understand that? Would you agree with that? Okay. In an ordinary situation, if you're like in a hospital or a big building, sometimes you have to go from one department to the next. Or your kids in school have to go see the nurse, or they have to go see the counselor or whatever. And they have some freedom to walk about and move about the facility. In prison, inmates are escorted. They don't just walk around, and sometimes they're handcuffed. Does that fact seem unreasonable
This
to
one
you?
right here,
Anybody?
guys. This is it.
All right.
Guys, this is the
Can we
one.
respectfully challenge?
Aren't we
You
all
agree with
sometimes
the
handcuffed?
proposition that inmates who misbehave or act improperly
This is the
should
one,
be dealt
guys.
with firmly, but in a reasonable manner?
Yes. I hope that doesn't
Do
bomb
you,
your
do you
clips
agree with
and
me that it's important for corrections officers to maintain control over those inmates and not let that improper behavior get out of hand? Anybody disagree with that? Everybody's okay with that? All right. Because when prison
Same,
inmates'
Zach.
behavior gets out of hand, bad things happen. People get seriously hurt. We've had, some of you aren't old enough to remember the Lucasville riots from many, many years ago, but we've had them at Warren Correctional Institution. I prosecuted a dozen or so inmates who were involved in a prison gang riot.
Maria, thank
And we
you
have
for
the possibility of injuries to
subscription on
prisoners or
Twitch
staff. You
and the
understand
cheers.
prison is different
Thank
in that
you,
regard
thank
than
you.
what you do in your ordinary life, daily life. Okay. Prisoners are told when to go places, where to go, and sometimes they're told to go to their cell and remain there for not hang out in the day room. Does anybody feel that is unreasonable given the nature of the inmates in the prison system? All right.
I wish someone would make me go to my room and stay
Are
there.
any of you aware that most corrections officers don't carry weapons inside the prison? That surprises some of you, but most of them don't. If they do, it's at best a nightstick type device, or they might have chemical spray. But again, as opposed to what Trooper Schuler would have if he was on the road and he encountered somebody in a violent situation, they're basically unarmed. Any of you find any problems with that, or would you agree to understand that's the situation? As I said, prison is different. When prison guards or corrections officers want to move an inmate, they frequently use not only verbal commands, but physical commands. They may grab the inmate by the arm and say, "Come on, let's go." Prison's different than what you encounter in society. Do you all agree to understand that and consider it for what it's worth? Now, I'm not asking you to find Aaron Jones guilty of anything just because he's an inmate. Do you agree that that would be improper? But by the same token, because prison is different, I want you to keep an open mind, and so that Sergeant Carey and the other officers involved will feel that they got a fair trial. Do you all agree that you could do that? All right. I spent some time asking all of you sort of these general questions. I've got a couple more general ones, but now's the time. If there's any reason that any of you, well, maybe you put some of you in the box, they're back here in the box, think you should not be a fair juror on this case now, knowing a little bit more about what it may involve. Is there any reason I should let you out of the jury? I can excuse some people for almost no good reason, but I don't want to do that. Is there a good reason any of you should be excused? Ultimately, if this case goes to the jury and is resolved, you're going to be asked to make a judgment. You're going to be asked to find this man sitting right behind me here, this defendant, guilty of assault on a corrections officer or not guilty. If the proper case is put to you and presented to you, and that's one where the evidence warrants it and the law, as Judge Heap will explain it, allows it, do any of you feel that you would be unable to find the defendant guilty of that crime and sign a judgment saying that he's guilty of that? And to be fair, if the state doesn't prove its case to you in a proper and sufficient manner, you'd find him not guilty. Is that fair? All right. Any other questions or things I should know? Thank you, Your Honor. I'll pass for cause.
All right. Before I have Mr. Jones begin his voir dire, I want to just make some things perfectly clear. Obviously, you're going to hear some testimony that Mr. Jones was under detention at Warren Correctional Institution at the time of these allegations. The location of it really has no bearing on anything other than it is something that I'll tell you a little bit later on, is a finding that you have to make. It's called a special finding that you have to make in your deliberations, and we'll cover that more in the jury instructions. Does anyone here think that they will be unable to?
Listen, I am sure that I fast forwarded through jury instructions because I'm not that. No, listen. If I did not fast forward through jury instructions, I am not listening to jury instructions. Nope. We're making it through jury selection, barely. So that we're just not.
To judge Mr. Jones fairly simply because he was incarcerated at the time of this incident, whatever happened. Everybody think that they could listen to him fairly, right? All right. Now, obviously, you can see in the courtroom, there's some uniformed officers in here. Obviously, Mr. Jones, again, I want you just to ignore them. No offense, guys. But we have security at the courthouse all the time. And that has nothing, again, to do with...
Maria, thank you for the gifted sub on Twitch. That makes 10. I can't remember 10 of what. But it did hit a goal. But I didn't create the goal. I don't know why the goal is there. But it hit a goal. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
The guilty or not guilty of Mr. Jones. We can all agree with that, right? So just kind of, they're there, but we always have security here at the courthouse. I'm sure all of you guys went through security when you came in this building, right? Okay, so we can all agree with that. Again, they're there. If you even notice, I don't even introduce them. So again, sorry guys, I don't even introduce them because to me, they're always there. Okay, so I take it for granted, but don't focus on them. Okay, all right.
Never.
Now, again, Mr. Arnold brought up some things about prison. That obviously, if you haven't been to prison, or don't know someone that has, you don't know that things are different. But this case is bound by the same rules as any other. As far as street justice or prison justice, I mean, that's not a part of this. You will all agree to follow the instructions of law as I give them to you, correct? All right. Now, again, a couple things with Mr. Jones is he has decided to represent himself, which he has an absolute constitutional right to do. We've already gone through that. I don't want... You're not to make any inference for or against Mr. Jones because he's elected to exercise that right? Okay. The other thing that I want you to understand, and I will give you this instruction, is that what the attorneys say in the courtroom, this is part of my instructions, and I'm not going to completely modify my instructions because Mr. Jones is representing himself. What he says in the courtroom, what Mr. Arnold says in the courtroom is not evidence, and you're not to consider it as such, okay? So unless Mr. Jones takes the witness stand, what he says acting as his own attorney is not evidence. We understand each other on that, okay? So I think that covers everything. Mr. Jones, sir, do you have any questions for the 12 prospective jurors?
I do. I have quite a few, actually.
Okay. You can stay right. Like Mr. Arnold, I'm going to have you stay right.
Okay. Now maybe jury selection might be a little fun. Now we're going to have a little fun, I'm thinking. Here we go.
Here, sir.
Okay. Just as an overall question, first and foremost, thank you for y'all service. Without y'all, the Constitution don't work, America don't work. This is important for y'all to be here. I apologize for taking y'all time. I'm sure y'all got lives in other places you'd rather be at right now. My apologies. Stuff happens, bro. But I just wanted to ask everybody, y'all all know the presumption of innocence, and what the presumption of innocence is that he's got to prove that this case happened. He's got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this assault took place. Without that, that's not guilty. Also, in the same token, I am defending myself. I'm nervous if you can't tell. It's kind of got a uphill battle, basically. Evidence will speak for itself, but was asking y'all to give me the same, what's the word I'm looking for? Just give me the same type of treatment you would give somebody else, because at the end of the day, I'm just presenting the case to you. I know I'm inexperienced and there's probably gonna be some bumps in the road, but as long as y'all presume the innocence, the case will work itself out. Well, I also wanted to ask, I'm not sure if I got these names right and stuff are in the right order, so if I mispronounce your name or anything like that, I apologize. But I want to ask Ms. Graham.
Yes.
That's you in the back. You said you're related to a law enforcement or a prosecutor.
Yeah, my husband is a federal agent.
He's a federal agent.
Yes.
And you believe that just because your husband's a federal agent, that all agents are good agents, though? Like, you believe that there can be a distinction from a good cop and a bad cop, correct?
Correct.
So so your husband being it was ATF, you was the one that said ATF, correct?
Yeah.
It was your husband being an ATF officer doesn't make you think that all cops are good cops, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. Mr. Wells, you in the back. Is it you had a motorcycle accident
Yes,
and you were the victim?
yes.
You were. Okay. Did you get to go through the whole process, or did you be in a settlement?
I'm working with a settlement, yes.
You're working on a settlement, so you haven't seen how the jury goes or anything like that. You haven't been through this process before.
No, it hasn't gone to court, no.
Okay. Damn. How about Mr. Howard?
Yes.
Okay. How long did you serve in the military for, sir?
I was on active duty for a little more than 3 years and in the reserves for about another 8 years.
You're honorably discharged?
Yes.
And also, I ask you again, you've been around military guys, and you know sometimes when guys get together, they get a little more bravado and more gung ho about certain situations. And do you also believe? I'm gonna ask y'all all this personally as well. Do you believe that there's good cops and bad cops?
Yes, I think there are good and bad.
Okay. And you do believe sometimes somebody can act out of character based on the pressure of a situation and the and how instant or how close the situation was. You think that somebody, even if they are a good cop or however you want to phrase it, they could act bad in a situation to make that line a little more blurry.
I'm not sure if I understand what you're asking me,
Would you like me to
but if
rephrase it?
something is out of character, then it seems to me that the character itself is questionable.
Okay, that's kind of basically you kind of answered my question. How I was trying to ask it was that just because somebody is an outstanding individual for 99% of their life, that 1% can put you in a situation that I'm in right now today. Is how I'm saying it. Like basically, if he was good the whole way through, but this situation he handled poorly to the point of, are you able to?
Nothing would ever make any of us in the situation that you're at today, dude. Nothing. You did this.
Distinguish that he was good up until this point. We're doing it broke bad this time. That's what you're ruling on is this current situation.
Well, I better understand your question now, but I think the whole point of this is that single situation.
Thank you, Mr. Howard. And then Ms. Dokamp.
Another Smith, I was thinking about you all day at work today. You want to know why? Because I have to do a lot of laundry at work. The napkins for the silverware, and roll a lot of silverware, a lot, hundreds. So when a show's going on or it's intermission or something, and I don't have a lot to do, I go back to this tiny little room with zero air, and the washer and dryer constantly going. And then right in front of me is this great big water heater made by A.O. Smith. So I'm rolling silver, just staring at A.O. Smith the whole time. But don't worry, I don't associate your name with bad. I was just thinking about you because it was right in front of me all day.
That's
Yeah.
you. You indicated your father used to work at Lebanon Correctional Institute.
Correct.
Okay. And you said
I hate the most is our laundry. It's a top load. And they're these, they're napkins. They're not a big piece of cloth. It's just a little napkin. And I cannot reach. I can't reach the bottom of a laundry machine, a washing machine. I can't. And I think most women can't. But it's fine because usually it's shirt and pants. You can sort of like grab the top, and it all comes out. Napkins don't do that. They go down to the bottom. And there you are, legs in the air while you're trying to reach the very, very bottom. I'm going to tell you what I did today. Someone put a piece of corn in their napkin. We washed the napkins. Way down at the bottom of the laundry machine was a piece of corn. Beautiful. It's a full kernel, beautiful piece of corn. I let it there because, listen, I could not reach it. I tried. That means there's a piece of corn in the next load. I couldn't get it. It was a very clean piece of corn, and the next person, everybody else is taller than me. They will get it. They will get that corn out of there. I know it. But I couldn't reach it. I tried so hard to reach it. My fingers were like barely touching it. I'll break my ribs. If I went any further, I would have fell the whole way in.
y'all didn't really talk about what he does there or anything like
Correct. Yeah, family history of healthcare, so we're very used to keeping our careers private.
that. Okay, so basically you wouldn't have a bias in this situation. Your father no longer works there, and this is kind of just like you're just here basically.
It's not Dutch Apple Dinner Theater.
Okay.
It's not.
You believe in the presumption of innocence, and that just because I'm sitting here, I'm incarcerated, and this event took place in jail, do you believe that automatically makes me guilty or less credible as a witness?
No, sir.
No, sir. All right, thank you, Mr. O'Camp. Mr. O'Keefe?
Yeah.
How you doing? You said you had a friend or that was a law enforcer or a prosecutor?
Yes, my cousin.
Your cousin? You ever gone to see him in action, see him work?
No.
Y'all ain't close?
No.
No. I was just curious. You believe in the presumption of innocence, and like what I'm asking the other people, it's going to kind of be a theme.
Yes.
So situations happen, situations unfold, and it's based on how the situation unfolded or what happened leading to these events that's the determination of the guilt or innocence or guilty or not guilty, however you like to phrase it.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
We get to see the situation unfold on camera, guys.
Sir. Ms. Rue?
Yes.
You talked about that off the record, correct? Being a victim?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So,
Don't call my
without
boss
asking
back.
any of the details of your situation,
Thank you.
being the victim, how it was handled and how you were treated by law enforcement and everybody involved in the situation, it doesn't leave you with a sour taste in your mouth towards the whole system or anything like that, correct?
No, I think I'll be okay.
You think you'll be okay? And like you, and you think you can sit there and look at the situation as a whole in totality and realize that it's good cops and bad cops, that it's on you to determine whether or not he was a good cop or a bad cop in the situation, or if it was just all me. Whatever determination you come to, that's on you. But you're not supposed to give him more credibility because of his position. Correct?
Understood.
Okay. Ms. Lapille?
Yes.
But if you don't mind me asking, what is a non-compete lawsuit?
When someone leaves a job, sometimes they're asked to sign a non-compete clause, meaning that they can't take a job in that same industry for a certain amount of time.
Okay.
So it's a civil.
Okay, and that was you that signed the non-compete.
It was not me. It was a family member.
It was a process, or it was just kind of like you sign here, we're done.
They actually were taken to court because they took a job that
Well, everybody likes
former
money, right?
employer thought was a competing position.
I ain't mad. So did so you actually, you was going for support or in the process of your family members going through court?
They did go to court.
I guess my question is, were you present for
I
their?
was not.
You was not, okay. So you don't have a real, because it says you had never served before and that you, that I just figured you might have had some interaction with the process, so. Do you have any reason to believe that you can determine everybody's credibility based on what you see put in front of you and the evidence matching up with their words?
I believe that I can.
You do believe you can? You believe there's good cops and bad cops?
Yes.
I would like to go as far as everybody will let me. I don't know when I'm gonna stop because it gets so good afterwards, but we gotta get through this stupid part.
Thank you, Ms. LaPelle. I said that right?
It's Lapelli, but that's okay.
LaPelle?
I answered
I apologize. I apologize. Ms. Wheatley? So I guess it's nothing really on here that I really want to attend to other than the good cop, bad cop. You think you can sit here and realize that just because I'm incarcerated and that I was an inmate at the time this happened, that makes me automatically guilty in your eyes, or you got to see some proof? You got to see some proof, and it doesn't matter who says what. The proof, you're gonna look at the proof that's in front of you and make the determination based on whether or not he proved his case, as opposed to I'm already guilty. I got to be sitting here for something, right?
I gotta just say, the good cop, bad cop thing, he's not far off the mark. Like most of us grow up believing wholeheartedly that, the police are good guys and they're there to protect and serve. And if you have a problem, go to the police. We were taught that in kindergarten. Go to the police if you have a problem. They're going to protect you. They're going to save you. They're heroes with capes. And they are. They just are. They just put their lives on the line every day. And they could get shot over something stupid. They could die over something that's stupid. But yeah, there are some bad cops. There are. And we are like pre-programmed to think that's a police officer. He doesn't lie. We just found out yesterday's trial that, yeah, sometimes they do. They don't tell the truth all the time. If he had a lawyer, this point might go further, but it won't because body cam footage.
You can do that for me? Appreciate you, Ms. Wheatley. How about Ms. Carson? And that was not that long ago. You're making me feel old. But it says you served in South Carolina before on a jury. You said it was a lawsuit, correct? And the headaches, it was a long, drawn out one, or was it just?
It's about 3 days long.
I hate
About
it.
3 days long. This should only be about like today and tomorrow.
You know how many of my stuff I watch? 0. I hate it. I hate watching my clips. I think, but this guy is too good.
Tomorrow, hopefully. I mean, it's done tomorrow, so I hope it doesn't stress you too much. But do you think that you can be fair and impartial as far as good cop, bad cops? Because this is what's going to boil down to is whether or not you believe who started the altercation. So that's why I'm asking to rely so heavily, is because it's not a clear cut and dry as I think it is. So I'm just asking, you believe in good cop, bad cop, basically, correct?
I believe people can be good or bad.
What about good criminal,
You can
bad
stay
criminal?
fair and impartial for me? Appreciate y'all. Mr. Kemper,
Yes.
and you got friends or family in law enforcement?
Yes.
Not-
Retired, but yes.
Or Tyler, yours was deputy sheriff, correct?
That was my father, was a police officer up in Kettering.
Up in Kettering? Okay. And you and your dad ever talk about what he does at work or anything like that?
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot.
He was very, family life is family life, work life is work.
Fair enough. That can be stressful for youngins. I guess basically, so you don't think that with your dad being law enforcement and retired, I'm sure since he retired, that means he did it up and by the book or whatever. So
I don't think so.
Can you distinguish the fact that there are good cops and bad cops?
Yes.
So you make the determination. That obviously I'm harping on it a lot, and I hate to keep beating a dead horse or whatever, but this whole case boils down to is exactly that. So the evidence will show what I'm talking about when we get further into the case. But I just want to talk to all y'all individually. Ms. Kilburn, that's your. And so you believe in good cop, bad cop, correct?
Good people, good cop, bad cop, yeah.
So your assessment of the witnesses isn't going to be based on what their job or what they do. Like I'm not going to be testifying. I'm just let the cat out the bag now. I won't be testifying, but at the end of the day, these witnesses are got to gain credibility based on your own life involvement and life skills. So I just want to make sure that everybody's on board with this.
He reminds me of Daryl Brooks a little bit.
And Miss Dilly.
That's me.
Okay, Miss Dilly. Last but not least, you had a friend or family that's in the law enforcement walk of life.
My dad was a prosecutor a really long time ago.
And so you said you don't know nothing about the process. And so I ask you again, good cop, bad cop, you're not going to just tell him he's a good cop because he's sitting here and he's the one making the accusations of the victim.
Right.
Also,
Thank
Mr.
you, Lori. Thank you.
Arnold harped on that I was in prison and that it's different. He's absolutely accurate. It is different. It's not the same type of justice system for us as it is for them. It is a different type of environment, not only with the inmates, but with the guards, the sergeants, the lieutenants, the majors, the wardens. It's a different type of interaction. So he was very astute to point that out, that it is different. But the differences that y'all don't know about, as opposed to what y'all will see today, you can see how much different they treat us. You'll be able to get a grasp on that yourself. So it's not just all one-sided or all one individual or the other, but prison is different for sure. Like, exactly get treated the best, but it is what it is. You make your bed, you lay in it. All I'm here is today is I just want y'all just to look at it for what it is. It's people are going to take the stand and testify. It doesn't make them credible. People are not going to take the
Objection,
stand.
Your Honor. It's my question. He's
Ask a
rambling.
question. Okay,
Okay.
ask a question. Mr.
Well, so everybody here has no issue with the good cop, bad cop scenario I pointed out. Nobody has any issue. So any of y'all want out of here that don't want to be here, I got four passes, and if one of y'all want one, I have no issue with letting y'all go on about y'all lives. Everybody's good?
I don't want to be here.
Yeah, right, it's a deal.
You don't want to be here?
No.
Got you. What's your name, sir?
Michael O'Keefe.
Like dismiss.
Hang on. You're not there yet. Mr. Jones, are you finished with your what?
Get him out of here. Make him leave.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Does the state have a peremptory challenge?
No, sir, we'll pass for a first.
The state passes. Mr. Jones, do you have a peremptory challenge?
That's the one without cause, right?
Yes, sir.
Mr. O'Keefe.
Mr. O'Keefe, you're excused.
Kevin, no?
What?
Good morning, Mr. Knott.
Good morning, sir.
That's
I
crazy.
see here that, well, first off, you've been paying attention, right?
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to bring to my attention?
Nothing I can think of.
It says here that you had been a victim of a crime, or your family been a victim of crime. Is there anything about that that would make you unable to be fair and impartial in this case?
I don't think so. No.
You want to care to
It
give me?
was, I've had a car broken into,
I too.
okay?
And also that you're related to a.
Yeah, but did you shoot the guy and then go into the house and get another gun and then make a sandwich and then come back out and then shoot him 20 more times?
Close friend of someone in law enforcement.
Both. I have a brother-in-law that just retired, and I have friends that they're all retired now that they were in police work.
Okay, do you believe you can be fair and impartial?
Yes.
All right, very good. Mr. Arnold, do you wish to inquire?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Knopf, did you hear the questions I was asking the other jurors before?
Yes.
Anything that you'd like to discuss with me as a result of those questions?
I think so, no.
All right. I asked you the question about judgment. If the proper case is put to you, that is one where the law and the facts warrant.
I am replaying one of my old live streams. Actually, it was 2 days, 2 live streams. We're going to do it in 3 days instead of 2. So you're going to see me, old me down there. Our chat is up in the right hand corner. But then the chat from the old live stream, I bump that up on this on the screen every once in a while. So you'll see that too, and it's awesome because we get to see all the people we haven't seen for a while and miss dearly. You might even see yourself if you saw this with me before.
Do you have any objection to finding this defendant guilty of a crime? No. If we don't prove our case, find him not guilty. Is that fair?
Yes.
Anything else I should know, or any other reason I should excuse you? All right, thank you, sir. We'll pass the call.
It might.
Mr.
They
Knott,
might
I'm
want
sorry, go
you
ahead.
more because of it.
Mr. Knott, I've been asking good cop, bad cop. You believe in good cop, bad cop. There's good cops and there's bad cops, correct?
Yes.
And you don't believe that just because he takes the stand in a uniform that it makes him credible, it has anything to do with his credibility just because he's a servant. I guess he would be a servant of law enforcement or whatever, but that doesn't make him any more credible or less credible, correct?
Correct.
So,
Linus, you are
he
not
was- he was
excused.
a victim, or it was a family member that was a victim. You said a car got broke into.
Yeah, it was my car.
It was your car. They kind of just stole radio and all this stuff, all the
Yeah.
valuables out of there. And you make any type of recovery off that?
No, never
Nobody
had a
got
closure
injured.
to it. Just had to win the fix.
Hi,
You
Nan,
didn't
if
have,
you're
so you didn't even catch nobody or charge nobody or anything?
No.
That didn't leave you with a sour taste as far as law enforcement goes, or you just kind of accept that it really wasn't nothing to go off?
Just it's what happened.
So.
Pass.
Yeah, pass.
All right, Mr. Arnold, does the state have a,
State will pass on
state
second
passes?
peremptory.
Mr. Jones, does the defense have a second peremptory challenge?
Yeah, Knott, Mr. Knott.
Mr. Knopp, you are excused.
John, leave it out.
Good morning, Mr. Liebenow. How are you, sir?
Good.
You have served as a juror before
Yes.
here in Warren County. When
Yes.
was that?
It was about, I'm thinking about 15 years ago.
Was that in this building?
Yes,
Was that a criminal case or a civil case?
it was a criminal case.
Did you actually sit on the jury, deliberate, and render a verdict?
Yes.
Was that a good experience?
Yeah, it was.
Headaches? Anything like that?
No.
Okay. Okay. And then also indicated that you or a close friend or family member has been the victim of a crime.
Yeah, same as the last guy.
Car broken into?
Yeah, when I was a teenager.
Or anything about that experience that you can't set aside and be fair and impartial?
No.
All right, very good. Mr. Arnold?
Mr. Levy, you said you were on a jury here about 15 years ago. Do you remember what judge heard the case?
I don't.
You remember what prosecutor handled the case?
No, I just
Do I-
remember what it was about.
Do I look familiar or maybe a little bit older
No.
than 15 years ago?
The prosecutor was a female.
A woman? Okay.
Man, I was so sleepy this morning. I was trying to start my stream. I couldn't figure out what buttons to push. I kept pushing the wrong buttons. And I'm forcing my brain. I'm like, you have to focus. You have to try to pick the right button on your computer to start a stream. You've done this before. You know how to start a live stream. But this morning I just couldn't. I reused the same thumbnails and descriptions and everything now that I always do, but I couldn't find Saturday. I just couldn't. Maria, thank you so much. Nan is back. Yes. Zach, it was escaping me. I couldn't find it. I couldn't start. It was rough. I feel better now. But yeah, sleepy mornings.
All right. Anything about that would cause you to have any animosity toward the prosecutor's office?
No.
You think they handled the case fairly?
Yes.
Okay. And that's the question I've asked the other jurors. First of all, anything that I touched on that you'd like to discuss with me?
No.
You're an airline pilot?
Yes.
Okay. Anything about that would prevent you from being here for the next day or two?
No. If it goes through Monday morning, I have a doctor's appointment I have to go to. That's it.
We're gonna work through that as best we can. I'll ask you the judgment question. If the state proves its case, proper case is given to you, evidence supports it, and the law allows it, do you have any judgment, any problems finding this defendant guilty of a crime?
No.
And by the same token, if we don't prove our case, find him not guilty. Is that fair?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'll pass the call.
Mr. Jones, any questions?
It's good cop, bad cop. You understand the concept, right?
I understand.
You believe the concept as well, though.
I do.
You do. And, I guess the car thing isn't really that serious, but yeah.
Done?
No.
Okay. Does the state have a peremptory challenge?
I think it's to the, no, I do not have a
You're
peremptory
passing.
challenge.
Mr. Jones?
Mr. Liebenau?
All right. Mr. Liebenau, thank you for your time this morning. Thank you. Excuse me.
Brian Mills?
Good morning, Mr. Wilms. How are you?
Yeah, it's going.
Sure. You've been paying attention?
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to bring to my attention?
Not particularly, no.
You indicated that you were a family member or close friends been the victim of a crime?
Yes.
Uh,
I was a victim of domestic violence about a year ago.
Okay. You would agree with me that that case has nothing to do with this case?
Correct.
Do you hold it against, was there somebody that was prosecuted?
Yes.
Do
Girlfriend.
you have any problems with law enforcement, that how they handled the case?
No.
You understand, as Mr. Jones has pointed out, just like there's good judges and bad judges, that there may be good cops and bad cops, is how he's phrasing it. You understand that concept?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree that there's good judges and bad judges?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you agree that there's good cops and bad cops?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Mr. Arnold.
Mr. Williams, you've heard the questions I've asked the other jurors. Anything that you bring to my attention as a result of that?
No, sir.
We've gone through the good cop, bad cop. Would you agree there's probably, on any given day, good inmates and bad inmates out at Warren Correctional?
Yes.
All right. And if the proper case is put to you, do you have any reason why you would not be able to find the defendant guilty of a crime?
No.
And if we don't prove our case, you'd find him not guilty. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Any other reason why you should not be on this jury?
No, sir.
I'll pass the call, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones.
You indicated that you were the victim of domestic violence.
Sir.
So you realize that, so you can understand the concept that anybody can start the altercation just because anybody could be the aggressor in the situation.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily based on, okay, you understand the good cop, bad cop, I'm cool.
Pass?
Pass the y'all.
All right. Mr. Arnold, the final pass?
Pass the call.
Mr. Jones, do you wish to exercise your final peremptory challenge, or do you wish to pass?
Howard?
Mr. Howard. Sir, thank you. You're excused.
Ian Bird?
Yo, I want Eileen to be on my jury if I'm ever incarcerated. Because then I'll know if I belong there or not. You are guilty, you go to jail. She says that I'm guilty, I go to jail. But if I get off and I'm set free, I deserved that. Uh-huh.
Yeah, sorry. It's like second grade. All right, Mr. Byrd, you've been paying attention, sir.
Yes.
Anything you want to bring to my attention?
No, sir.
The questions that have been repeated by the state, the questions that have been repeated by the defense, all of this, anything you want to bring to my attention?
No, sir.
All right. You indicated that you are related to someone in law enforcement. Who would that be?
My mother cleans for Harold Jarnicki of Lebanon Court. She cleans for him bi-weekly.
Okay. All right. Everybody here, all the attorneys in Lebanon know Mr. Jarnicki, so he doesn't get over here much anymore, but okay. Anything else?
No.
Do you think you can be fair and impartial to both sides?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Arnold.
Ms. Byrd, you heard the questions I asked the other jurors. Anything you'd bring to my attention?
Currently, no.
If the proper case is put to you, do you have any reason why you would not be able to find this defendant guilty of a crime?
Can you elaborate?
Well, if we prove the case, we present enough evidence, and if the law, as the judge explains, it allows for conviction, would you find the defendant guilty?
Yes.
And if we don't prove it, or the law, as the judge gives it to you, doesn't meet up the right elements, would you find him not guilty?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions.
Mr.
Pass.
Jones.
It's Mr. Burr, correct? And so your the involvement with the
Aaron Burr.
you said your mother cleans for somebody that's in law enforcement. Is that how you phrase that? I'm
Yes.
correct. Okay. So you never really had any real interaction with the said people, or yes?
No.
Okay. I'm just trying to trying to see how much everybody's been through the process and what your acuity or whatever for this is. So that's not gonna have any type of effect on your judgment or your bias or none of that. And so you think it's on the prosecutor to prove my guilt and not on me to prove my innocence, correct? Okay. I'm nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay. Would you call me one name, please?
Margaret Phelps?
Even when we have a Daryl Brooks
Margaret Phelps?
alike pro se, I hate jury selection.
You're not in trouble yet.
I probably make you guys hate it too because I'm complaining about it so damn much. Let's reframe. This is awesome. We're learning so much about these people, the jury, that we never get to see or hear from. And we're learning so much about them right now. It's great.
Good morning, Ms. Fouts. I'm going to give you a brief explanation as to why I've called you. You're sitting in the 13th chair, which is considered the alternate. Now, you watch football?
Yes.
Football fan?
Yes.
Great. Your position is like Jake Browning. You know who that is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you're Jake Browning. Okay, so you've got to sit there just like Jake did. He's got to go to practice every day. He's got to read his playbook, study game films. He has to prepare as if he's going to be called on Sunday to replace Big Joe, right? Do you understand the concept?
I do.
All right, so this is the role that you will be as an alternate. You're going to have to pay attention, participate fully as a juror. But if those 12 are permitted to proceed to deliberations, I'm going to excuse you. You are not permitted to be in there when they deliberate. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Is that something you can do?
Yes, it is.
All right, great. Good. Was that a good example?
12 jurors and one alternate.
Yes.
It only works if you understand football, because if you don't understand football. All right. You served as a juror before
Yes, I have.
here in Warren County. Was that this building?
No, it was in Wayne County.
Oh, if I would actually read the note, it does say Wayne County.
Excuse me?
I didn't read it all.
Oh, yeah. No.
I see Wayne County. Was that a criminal case or a civil case?
Ooh. It's been how long ago?
30 years, you said.
Yeah. Probably a civil case.
Okay. All right. Anything about that? Was it a good experience?
It was interesting.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Very good. Mr. Arnold, any questions for the alternate?
Ms. Fouts, you've heard the questions I've asked the other jurors. Is there anything specific you'd like to bring to my attention?
No.
All right. We've gone through the good cop, bad cop analogy. Do you have any problems with that?
No.
And finally, is there any reason why if the state proves its case and the law allows it that you would not be able to find this defendant guilty of a crime?
Captain Kangaroo, Bill!
If we don't prove our case, you find him not guilty. Is that fair?
Where's Bill?
Your Honor, I pass for cause this deal.
Mr. Jones?
Pass.
J-Fire.
Pass. Okay. Would you please swear the jury in?
Can all of the jurors, if you could please rise for your hands?
Hi, Belle. You're so
Do you
late.
swear so help you God or affirm under the pains and penalties of perjury that you will diligently inquire into and carefully deliberate all matters between the state of Ohio and the defendant, Aaron Jones, to the best of your skill and understanding and without bias or prejudice? Please stand. Please.
All right, for those of you who are still left in the gallery that were summoned today as prospective jurors, as you can see, as this case unfolds, I have no idea how many people we're going to go through, how many people are going to have conflicts. Sometimes actually Judge Oda, about a month ago, got down to like one person back there. So for us, that's very stressful. But we bring in more people than we absolutely need, just to be sure, because if I run out of prospective jurors in the courtroom, I have to declare a mistrial, and then it could bump the whole thing over. It literally would be months before we could get back on the court's docket. So I tell you that just so you don't think I wasted your time this morning, and I do apologize and thank you for coming in, but I do not need you. Now, if we have open courtrooms here in the United States, so you are welcome to stay. In fact, all of our proceedings are broadcast live on YouTube. So you see the camera. You guys aren't on camera, but if you want to go home and watch, you just search for our courtroom here, Courtroom 4 in Warren County Common Police Court, and watch the proceedings live. Okay. If there's no sound that comes on, the sound only comes on when we are actually on the record and we're recording. Okay. So with that, if you'd like to stay, you're welcome to stay. But if you want to leave, now would be the time to go. You have my thanks. All right, for those of you remaining who are now with me for the next day.
Oh, we got through it. Oh, I hate jury selection. I'm just so glad. Okay, that wasn't bad, though. I mean, it wasn't great. It was boring. I didn't like it. There was no outbursts. But we made it through. HRH, hello.
Or so. We're going to take a break. So what we're going to do is you're going to go this way with Justin. He's going to kind of show you the ropes. It's going to be about a 20-minute break because he's going to show you some ways in and out. Use bathrooms back here in the jury room. There should be snacks. Is that right, Justin?
Yes.
We have some snacks, some water.
Same.
Feel free to help yourself. Stretch your legs. Make yourself comfortable. Use the bathroom. And we'll be back in about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to give you some instructions. The only instruction I'm going to give you right now is you're not allowed to talk about the case. Believe it or not. Until you deliberate, you're not allowed to discuss the case. You're not allowed to discuss what happens in the courtroom until such time as I give it to you. Do not begin to form opinions about the case because you don't have all the information necessary to make an informed decision. So don't talk about the case. Talk about anything you want. You can't talk about the case. Okay? With that, we'll come back and I'll give you further instructions.
All rise.
See, Linus? Trust me. Never mind. If
Go
that
on the
wasn't
record outside the presence of
if that wasn't slightly interesting, I would have cut that out so quick.
the jury now, and we are going to come back in. I'm going to say, how much time do we need for opening? Should be fairly short.
Yes, Your Honor.
5 minutes each.
Well, let's say 10.
All right, 10 minutes each. You do your closing from the council table, okay?
Can he get done in 10
With regard to
minutes?
the jury instructions, Mr. Jones, I know that you have not seen them. The only thing that I'd like to comment on with regard to the instructions of law is with regard to your incarceration. And here's what I intend to tell the jury. You already heard what I've told them.
Correct.
But in the actual instructions, this is what I'm going to read. Evidence was received about the defendant being incarcerated at the Warren Correctional Institute. That evidence was received only for a limited purpose. It was not received, and you may not consider it to prove the character of the defendant in order to show that he acted in conformity with that character. You are not permitted to speculate why the defendant was incarcerated, nor use that information for any reason other than considering if he was incarcerated there during the commission of an assault as an additional finding if you find the defendant guilty of the charge of assault. That evidence cannot be considered for any other purpose. Any objection, Mr. Arnold?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones?
No, sir.
All right, very good. And Mr. Jones, you don't have to tell me now, but I do need to know eventually whether you are going to take the witness stand under oath.
No, sir.
You're not? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and that language, I'm going to print a copy of this out for you. So you have a copy of the instructions and that's out. So you're not going to testify. So I'm going to give you a copy of this. You can review it. So immediately after lunch, we're going to go through this. So you need to make whatever objections you're going to make about the instructions of law at that time. Because once you pass on that and I read the instructions, you can't go back later and say, I object. Okay. All right. So let's take, we're going to take about a 20-minute break. Let's get him
he
to
can
the bathroom.
say, I object. Don't you worry, Judge. Bathroom break number 3 for him.
All right.
That was awful. Okay, I'm going to bump it forward 10 minutes. No, you're not guilty. Oh, I do have to warn you. When we get to the body cam footage, not the, so they have the cameras in the jail. We're going to see all the camera footage from the jail. But when they get to the actual body cam footage, that could get a little loud. So get ready to adjust your stuff. I don't know if we're going to get to body cam today, but I just wanted to warn you. She's not wrong. It's loud. All right, he's back from the bathroom. Everything must have went okay. He doesn't have handcuffs on, so he was able to wipe, and he was able to wash his hands. Yeah, Lori, I hope you had a great birthday.
I mean, not mean to throw it. Sorry, thank you.
Thank you. Please be seated. Everyone was able to follow my simple instruction over the break, right? All right. Before we go any further, I want everyone to take a deep breath and relax. Jury service is a little strange, so a short explanation is in order. Like most things in life, the trial is governed by certain rules. The participants in this room must abide by those rules. The parties, the witnesses, the attorneys, you and I are bound by the rules as well. Now, the state will present evidence. I'm trying to say it. My notes. The lawyers will be presenting evidence through the questioning of witnesses. Obviously, Mr. Jones is representing himself, so he will be doing that portion of it. This must be done in accordance with the rules of evidence and the rules of procedure. One of my jobs is to enforce those rules and to determine what evidence may be admitted for your consideration. Your job is to determine the facts and apply those facts to the law. You are the sole judges of the facts, the credibility of the witnesses, and the weight to be given to the testimony. Later, I will instruct you regarding all the law that applies to this case, and you will apply that law to the facts as you decide them. It is your sworn duty to accept the law as given to you by the court. Now, the case before you began with the filing of an indictment. The indictment informs the defendant that he's been charged with a crime. In this case, the defendant, Aaron Jones, is charged on or about March 20th, 2023. That's not right.
December 20th, 2023, Your Honor.
December 20th, 2023, in Warren County, Ohio, he did knowingly cause or attempt to cause physical harm to another in violation of the Higher Revised Code and against the peace and dignity of the state of Ohio. There's also additional findings that are required to be made in the event that you find him guilty, and that is that the offense occurred on the grounds of a state correctional institution, that the victim of the offense was an employee of the Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections, and that the offense was committed by a person incarcerated in the state correctional institution. You may not consider the fact that the indictment was filed for any purpose. The defendant has entered a plea of not guilty. A plea of not guilty is a denial of the charge and puts at issue all of the essential elements of the crime charged in the indictment. I will explain those elements to you in more detail at the close of the case. This is a criminal case. Criminal case, the defendant is presumed innocent until his guilt is established beyond a reasonable doubt. The defendant must be acquitted unless the state presents sufficient evidence that convinces you beyond a reasonable doubt of every essential element of the crime charged in the indictment. Reasonable doubt is present when you, after having carefully considered and compared all the evidence, cannot say you are firmly convinced of the truth of the charge. It is a doubt based on reason and common sense. Reasonable doubt is not mere possible doubt, because everything relating to human affairs or depending on moral evidence is open to some possible or imaginary doubt. Proof beyond a reasonable doubt is proof of such character.
Yo, come on, Judge. We're about to watch a great hearing. It's up there. It's great. And he keeps talking. All I do anymore is wait. I wait for the good stuff to happen. Let's go.
That an ordinary person would be willing to rely and act upon it in the most important of the person's own affairs. Now, many people get an impression of how a trial works from watching television. Obviously, we're not going to finish in an hour. And it may not be as dramatic as what you see on television. TV is for entertainment purposes. Here in real life, a trial proceeds in a certain order.
Zach, you're right. You're right. Listen, I will put the link to this in the description. If you really want to hear this, you can just go there. Opening statements. Let's go. Oh, I should press play. I'm an idiot.
You stay at council table, please.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As I said earlier,
He has to stay at council table because Mr. Brooks Jr. over there is shackled at the feet. And the judge doesn't want the jury to see that.
My name is John Arnold. I'm an assistant prosecutor for Warren County, Ohio, and I'm going to present the case to you today. State of Ohio versus Aaron Michael Jones. And you might, normally when I do this, I read the indictment. Judge has already done that. So what I will tell you is that in this case, the defendant is charged with assault under section 2903.10 of the revised code. What does that mean? How did we break that down? Well, we're going to prove to you that on or about December 20th of last year, in Warren County, Ohio, at the Warren Correctional Institution, the defendant caused or attempted to cause physical harm to Sergeant Shane Carey. As I said, this occurred at Lebanon Correctional. Don't go out there and drive around and do a tour, at least not till the case is over. What does assault break down to? Well, the judge is going to explain this to you a little bit further. It's when a person knowingly causes or attempts to cause physical harm. Doesn't have to be serious, but just physical harm. Physical harm means any injury, illness, or other psychological impairment, regardless of its gravity or duration. In this case, Sergeant Carey, basically, he got his nose and busted. You'll hear that testimony from him. We have to show that the offense occurred on the grounds of a state correctional facility. In this case, that would be WCI, Warren Correctional Institution. That the victim was an employee of the Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. That's Sergeant Carey, in this case, who you'll hear from briefly, or you'll hear from soon. And it was committed by a person incarcerated in a state correctional institution. That would be Mr. Jones. What this comes down to is, in terms of witnesses, let me begin with the first witness you're going to hear from is Mr. Hall, who's an investigator at the prison. And basically, he collected some of the video that you're going to see. We have a surveillance video from outside the office where this occurred. You'll see that. We also have body camera video, as well as some photographs, and you'll see that during the course of this. But shortly before 1 o'clock, inmate Jones was in Sergeant Carey's office for an administrative infraction. He had done something the night before, and basically Sergeant Carey was going to ground him or take some of his privileges away. No, Mr. Jones wasn't happy with that. I mean, they go back and forth, back and forth. He leaves the officer at one point and comes back and resumes his argument with Sergeant Carey. It gets to the point at one point, Carey tells him, "Get out of my office." And when the defendant leaves, he throws a desk phone at Sergeant Carey. Well, that immediately is going to get him handcuffed, put on the wall, handcuffed, taken to a disciplinary cell or to somebody else, some other. And when Sergeant Carey tries to put him in cuffs, the first thing the defendant does is headbutt him and then strikes him. And they go down and they struggle in the office. And you'll hear the other officers who responded to assist him. Sergeant Carey was seen at the medical unit at WCI as well as taken to Atrium Medical Center. Sergeant Carey. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear from the other officers who were involved, the nurse who treated Sergeant Carey and sent him on to the hospital. You'll hear from Investigator Schuler, who really kind of wrapped this thing up at the end. No offense, Mike, he has not much to say, but we're going to hear from him anyway. And at the end of the day, it's very simple. At Warren Correctional on December 20th of last year, the defendant assaulted a corrections officer. He was incarcerated there in Warren County, and he assaulted a Department of Corrections employee. Plain and simple. That's why we're here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Arnold.
Leo is
Mr.
not
Jones?
in the mood.
You can remain seated. I'd stand up.
No, so you will remain seated.
He's trying to make this case look like it's cut and dry, like it's just straightforward. I got mad at being disciplined or attempted to discipline and attacked and assaulted.
Listen, just pick an age, sex, color. Actually, I have a cat with 3 feet. You can just take it home with you and love it forever. I know.
This man, you'll see by the video, you'll see by the testimony. If that's not how this unfolded, that's not how this went. It went a lot different than that. But y'all, I picked y'all because I seen how y'all were reacting. I feel like y'all an intelligent group of people. Y'all will see when the facts come out and the evidence is being presented. You will see there's 2 sides to every story. And there's also a 3rd side to most stories, which is the truth. The prosecutor's not gonna be able to prove his case on this. He's gonna make it look, dress it up and make it look like something. I'll give you that. I'm sure I'll give him, man. Gotta have something with all the experience. I'm sure he's gonna make it look like something. But pay attention to the evidence. The evidence here is good cop, bad cop. That's why I kept going to that. You're gonna see what happens. You're gonna see how it unfolds. Just let the evidence speak for itself. I trust y'all. With that, I pass.
Thank you very much. Mr. Arnold, call your first witness.
Statement called Jason Hall.
Listen, I'm going to keep going. I know the stream is at almost 2 hours right now. And I know I usually stop it. It is at 2 hours right now. No, I'm not going to keep going. We're going to do this in 3 days instead of shoving it into 2 days. This was day 1. We start with the first witness tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. Today's Saturday. So it'll be a good Sunday because we're going to get to the good stuff tomorrow. Thank you for coming out, guys. Oh, the outro's coming up. I love this song. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. I'm going to start OJ. I'll see some of you in a few minutes. Josh, thank you for posting that Discord yesterday. I will make sure I remember today. Bye, guys. Here we go. Here we go.
Well, I thought I'd write a happy song. I found a chat room where I belong. You don't know how much it means to me. With such a groove, I'm less lonely. Oh, Kathy's the creator, she's leading the way. At court vibes, we laugh and we say. Her smile shines bright, she's got that grace. Come join the fun, it's a welcome and play. I can count on distraction from my pain, 'cause this creator takes you there and back again. Kathy is the heart here, always in stride. Her work is hard, but her joy she can't